Everybody don't walk down the street and see the baby, like, I should smack that baby. And you be in your head like, why would I think that? Like, why would I think I should smack that baby?
The Who Do You Think You Are podcast is sponsored by Good Trip Inc. It's a super dope gallery with a super dope artist that owns it. Black owned, 416 South McDowell Street, downtown Raleigh. Y'all come through, check him out. Tell him that SP the Writer sent you.
Owner of Good Trip Tattoo and Art. My passion is creating art, and there's no better feeling than seeing a happy client.
It's crazy because when I came across your work online, like I go in a rabbit hole, you know what I mean? And so I saw, this was before the quarantine video dropped. And I'm looking, so then boom, I start clicking on everything and I'm going through and I'm like, man, like where he's at reminds me of kind of where we are right now in the poetry world. You know what I'm saying? Like right on the cusp.
Yeah,
and so,
there.
And so that joke would just get me mad excited, bro. And I was just going through all your stuff. I'm like, yo, I gotta see if this guy sit down with me, man, because I got questions.
I couldn't wait.
Word. But yeah, man, we rocked it out.
Yeah, I like that a lot, yo.
Yeah, we rocked that joint out.
I like that a lot.
So we ready to get back to it.
And I more than anything, I like indulgent blackness.
Right.
I like these paintings, like big, loud, black. Like
right.
I don't like when people be like, yeah, I'm black. Like,
right.
No, bro,
nah.
you like
I'm
what all
black.
we've been through.
Right.
You need to be on the ceiling screaming, swinging a shirt.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I'm with it, bro. Like, it's just crazy how some people don't accept their own blackness.
They're afraid of it. It was incepted in us to believe that we were less than and that we were, you know, and you know, it was just like it was incepted in us for black men to hate each other, to see each other, and automatically, like, you see white guys, they see another white dude like, hey man,
hey, how
and
you
they
doing?
keep going.
Right.
We see each other and be like, what the fuck that nigga over there? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We conditioned to do that. I plan on breaking all that with my music. Like, that's
right.
my goal in life. Shut that shit down, nigga. I don't want no matter where you from, if you black, you safe here.
Safe here. Word. We gonna get it. We already into it. I'm with it. And I always start, man. I'm SP, man. I'm a silent poet. Who do you think you are?
I'm Jooselord Magnus, the Mosh Pit Messiah.
Word. Word. And it's crazy because the podcast is called Who Do You Think You Are? And when I saw your Instagram, I think Miriam had posted something. That was the first time I saw. And she was talking about, I think it was a snippet of the quarantine video. So boom, I start clicking, and I'm looking, I'm like, he perfect, because I'm like, yo, like, who do you think you are, bruh, in this world? You know what I mean? Like, you out here doing so much and saying so much to yourself, to the community, to black folk, to white people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I done dug, bro, in the last couple. And listen, I just came across, so quarantine dropped on what day?
On the 1st of this month. It's about to be a month and it's been
So I came across your page probably the 28th of May. And so since then, I've been digging, man. And it's like, yo, this guy, he dope, bro. He dope. And so I've been, you know, ingesting your music. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in Cheesecake Factory by myself eating, and I got Jooselord in my ears, like, okay, what he saying? All right, boom, you know. And so I really appreciate you coming on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know me from the man on the moon. You know what I mean?
I know, but this is how you get to know people right here.
This
you know
is
what I'm
true.
saying? Why not sit right in the middle of your art? You know what I'm saying? If you immersed yourself in mine, and I didn't even know that. Right. You know what I'm saying? But this is your art, and you invited me to be a part of your art. I'm honored. Right. You know what I'm saying? Whether I know you or not. It could be Jay-Z, it could be the homeless dude down the street, like, hey, I want you to talk on my podcast. Right. Homeless for the homeless, like, hey, I'm here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Why don't most of us think that way?
Ego. ego and the internet destroy physical connection while empowering like long distance connection. So you know, people want something. Like, you know, we've been conditioned to believe that we have to get something for everything we do. Like for everything, like, oh, if you can't do nothing for me, then I can't do nothing for you. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I don't know you. I'm bigger than that. Everything is ego. Everything is like, you know, everybody want to be the dude in the bottle with the 24 bottles. I mean, the dude in the club with the 24 bottles. That's what everybody want to be. You know what I'm saying? I'm just happy being the dude that sneak people in the back door of the club. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least we all get to have fun. Like, you feel me?
Right. Have you always been like that?
It's weird because I've always been like that to some like capacity.
Right.
I did used to have like a large ego, and then
what broke that?
Realizing like what my calling is on this planet and what my people needed me to be and what I was supposed to be.
Right.
I wasn't supposed. There's enough arrogant motherfuckers. I can curse.
Yeah.
There's enough arrogant motherfuckers. Enough. You know
Because we're gonna talk about them cut your mic off. I ain't gonna cut your mic off today. Listen, bro. Listen. I've been digging. I've been watching, and if I had not been booked at another event, I would have been at that one.
That was crazy. It was crazy.
So let's go. Since I done brought it up. So Juneteenth, celebrating black people.
The blackness.
Being black. We're in Durham, right? Downtown Durham. You're performing, and then your mic gets cut off. Do you know who actually pulled the plug? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I do.
You know who actually pulled the plug.
But I put it like this. Everybody got their own ideals about profanity and things of that nature.
Right.
So when it comes to me and my show, I don't believe in pulling no punches because my show is about people coming and getting all that's on them. You listen to my music, that's what it's about. Get it off.
Right.
Because you sitting here and you thinking about it and being angry about it, it's only gonna make you, it's either gonna fester and that actually make you sick and make you sick physically and mentally. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get it off. So this is where you're gonna come and get it off. I can't tell people, come get it off if I'm saying freak and stop it. Like, nah, they gotta hear the curse words. They gotta, people gotta feel, like they gotta look up there and they gotta say, oh, this dude right here is not gonna filter, so I don't have to. I could just let it all out. Like, he up there looking crazy, then it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? You bring it out of them. You cut off them societal walls that tell you should look this way, you should act this way, you should talk this way. That's the whole point of my show. So when they tried to book me, I let them know, like, hey, listen, if I can't curse, I don't want to do it.
Right.
We still want you. Okay, cool. I get there, they cut niggas off for cursing. I said, all right. I took them backstage, like, hey, listen.
So they cut other people off for cursing.
And I took them backstage and said, hey, listen, I see what y'all doing here. You know, oh, but you're different. And you da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, you know I'm going to say every curse word, though, right? And they're like, yeah, we know your message and we believe in you and da-da-da. And I've heard this before. So, and this happened before. I've seen people get cut off, but they was like, well, we gave you this certain spot because we know what you do. So I'm like, all right, cool. I go up there, they go to cut me off. And I was offended. But I held myself, but they waited till I got like to the 5th, 6th song, and them people out there, they wasn't having it.
They wasn't having it.
They wasn't having
So before
it.
we get to that part, because that was the most interesting part for me, and the dopest part for me. So when they were cutting other people off, what was happening when they cut them off?
They was like, people wasn't like, they was just, all right, bye. Like, they was just cutting them off and they was gone. Like, the people just.
Then the artists just
leave,
vacate, exit stage left.
Yep.
Man, all right, so then you rocking out, you 5th, 6th song, they cut your joint off, and I seen the video where the crowd.
Rush the stage. They rushed the stage and finished my last song.
That's crazy, bro.
I could tell it. It was like, y'all gotta stop doing this. Because this is what they come here for. They come here to get it all off. And it's like, you know, they ain't been able to see me all quarantine. We ain't been able to be together. We ain't been able to touch each other, be shoulder to shoulder. And the first time was Juneteenth, the blackest day. And they look at me like, yo, he the blackest dude. You know what I'm saying?
right.
He the blackest dude on the blackest day. He outside for free. It's meant to be. We out here.
Man, do you feel like, and I don't know who else is on the stage, and I don't really want to throw nobody under the bus or anything, but so I'm trying to figure out how to ask this question in a certain way. Why do you feel like they finished your shit?
Because I've created a brand in which the people understand that I'm a part of them and not above them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not one of them. That's why I don't say fans. That's why I call we the pirates. We together.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
Y'all might look at me as the captain. That just means I know where to go. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Everybody play a role, though. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, my people feel attached to me, and they feel like they don't come there. They come there to heal. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A lot of them don't go to church. They don't believe. A lot of them don't believe in God. A lot of them don't. But this is the closest thing they got to church. This is the closest thing they got to that feeling. When you go in church, you get the fellowship, the music start playing, you shaking, you like, I don't know this feeling.
Right.
That's the only place they get to feel it. So imagine taking church away from people.
Oh man, it'd be
Like the music, just you go to church and they like, we just doing hymns and we just talking, we not doing no music. People will riot in the church.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
I never thought about that, but you're right, because that's what they there for. Because if you ain't got that feeling,
Yep. If
then
don't
you ain't got
that,
nothing.
if you ain't washed in it,
Right.
then you don't got nothing, yo.
And I seen where you had posted and you said, like, here's where people can feel.
Yeah. No matter who you are, no matter what. Like, yeah, I make my music for me.
Right.
But I make it and I talk to black people, but white people come and they enjoy. I'm not kicking nobody out of nowhere for nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you feel comfortable here, then we gonna make you feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? If you comfortable enough around us being this black and rowdy, then you belong here.
Right.
Because they taught you to be afraid of that. When you see that, that's a bad thing. Get away from there. They're gonna do something.
Right.
If you comfortable in that chaos, then you belong here.
And see, it's some people that I've come in contact with or that I know that even if a white person felt comfortable in that environment, they still don't want them there.
Yeah, I can't do that, yo, because that's not conducive to the progression of the world. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Do I believe that black people should have our own? Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Do I believe we should have our own? But that just means that I believe that white businesses shouldn't be there. That doesn't mean I don't think we should have white patrons.
That makes sense. Because I saw a lot of posts on Juneteenth, that was like, hey, just so y'all know, this ain't the time to bring your white friends around.
Yeah, it is.
Right. I think it's the best time.
It's the best time. It's the time to bring your white friends around and say, hey, you see this? If this make you uncomfortable, we can't be friends no more. You know what I'm saying? You bring them around the blackest of the black. Don't try to understand it. Don't try to nothing. Just be here.
Right.
Just be here.
And does that go the same for black people who feel uncomfortable in those situations?
And black situations?
Yes.
They need to do some soul searching. You know what I'm saying? That's because a lot of that. So for the Juneteenth thing, I had to make an announcement to people like, hey, listen, this dude is about to be cursing. So if y'all feel uncomfortable about that, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you should enjoy other parts of the festival and their family.
Did they make the announcement?
Yep.
So, all right. So you told them before they booked you, hey, look, I'm me.
And before I got on stage.
And before you got on stage.
And I had to make an announcement. That's three different, because I'm not going, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to blindside. I know how intense and powerful my energy could be. I don't want to blindside nobody with that.
And they still cut your joint off.
I don't, and that's what I don't understand. It's like, why would you have me, like, I could have just not been here. I could have been someplace else.
Right.
I could have did something else. I could have been in front of, but the only thing I could say is I think that it was meant for it to happen like that. I think that was meant to happen. I think that people needed to see that it ain't me. I don't gotta be an artist on stage throwing a fit and like, I can't believe you did this because they felt like they needed it, and you did a disservice to the people, not just to me.
Have you had any conversations with any of the organizers or anything since then?
They wouldn't.
Nah.
They wouldn't, because the only thing they could say is I apologize.
Yeah, no,
You
nobody
can't
want to
say
hear that.
nothing. Yeah. You can't say, what you gonna say to me? Well, we just didn't know. You told me, we talked about this a bunch of times. I even told you I was gonna say suck my dick. You said, no problem.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you knew all of this stuff and what you gonna say besides sorry?
Man. I'm stuck right now because was the event organized by black people?
Yep. But problem is, and this is what I say. The problem is, it was organized by older black people who have who are kind of stuck in their ways, and I don't got no problem with that. But my thing is this: like, you got to live. You know what I'm saying? And you see all of these young black people enjoying themselves in their blackness.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got your time. You got your time to enjoy yourself. You got your time for that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
As a matter of fact, y'all had the entire festival up until I went on. You know what I'm saying? But this is what they was waiting for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a space probably like 30 yards long. Mm-hmm. Like 30 yards long from the stage to this tent. The entire time, the entire show, nobody filled up that space until I got on, and it was heads all the way through. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you see it's working and you see people enjoying it.
Right.
Why would you? Like this is a day for us to enjoy. Like, I'm black.
Right.
They black.
Right.
They enjoying it, I'm enjoying it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you didn't like it, this is the time for you to turn your head. This is the time where it's not my cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? Well, this needs to stop. Why? What am I doing wrong?
Right.
I don't call women bitches in my music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't put down nobody in no kind of community. I literally use my music to uplift black people, to uplift, listen, fight your depression. Fight against people that hurt you. Make sure you take care of yourself. Mentally, physically, like all of that.
Right. Man, that's tough, man. I'm sitting here thinking, I'm always, when I'm talking to somebody and we're talking about something that they went through, I'm always paralleling it to
something you went through.
Right.
I like that though. Some people say they don't like don't do that. For me, it helped me. It helped when people do that for me. It make me feel like somebody know where I'm coming from.
Right.
You know how, because like it's like a thing on the internet, like normalize not bringing up a story about you and like, nah, I don't want people to do that. Right. I don't want you to bring up a story about you when I'm telling my story, because then it's like, I knew I wasn't crazy.
Connect, right?
Yeah, I knew I wasn't crazy.
Because without that connection, what are we really?
Exactly. Life is about human connection.
Right. All day long.
Yep. What are you left with when you leave here besides your human connections? Besides what people remember you as? And people gonna remember, there's three different type of people. There's people who got remembered for being good, people who got remembered for being bad, and people who didn't get remembered. That's it.
Forgotten.
You know what I'm saying? You sit on the couch all day, you don't create no art, you don't care about nothing, you just want to stay out the way, you're gonna be forgotten.
And nobody really wants to be forgotten.
Yeah, nobody really wants that.
Nobody really wants to be forgotten.
So you gotta wake up every morning and make the decision to be great. Even where we sitting at right now, each one of these is a decision for greatness. Like, I'm gonna do this. Right. I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna complete this art.
Right.
And I'm gonna put my all into it. That's what this is about.
Shout out Good Trip.
Yeah, shout out Good Trip. No problem.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Cause I did something similar, but I ain't warned nobody. So, story, last show we had at the convention center, which is my first show at the convention center. This is before COVID. We had an Inspired show, and a couple shows prior to that. So that was my fourth show, my 1 year anniversary. I did this one piece called Black Conscience, and it had a white guy and a black guy dressed in KKK uniform. And so that visual obviously was stark. You know what I'm saying? But the piece, I feel like I wrote it well. People accepted it well. It came out. So when we had the year anniversary, I remember I'm like, all right, I want to do another visual piece. There's a message that I want to get across, which was, when you break it down, it's the crab in a barrel mentality. I wanted to address that. So I did a piece called Stranger Fruit.
Stranger Fruit.
But what I did was the visual part of it, Lee was actually in it, Johnny
Lee.
and Amani Lau. So she sung the song Strange Fruit. Then Lee did the poem that I wrote, and then she sung the rewritten version of Strange Fruit that I did. But during the piece, I'm hanging on stage. Yeah, by a noose. When we finish, I'll show it to you. And so it was crazy because I thought about it like, yo, should I let the convention center know? You know what I mean? Like, should I warn them up front, like, what's gonna happen? But in my mind, I'm like, yo, if I tell them, and then they be like, nah, you can't do that.
Then I'm gonna be mad.
Be mad as hell. And then I'm gonna be mad at myself because I know I shouldn't have told them that anyway.
Forgiveness, not permission.
Right. And so, I did the piece. It was crazy. I wound up passing out on stage. It was a whole crazy thing.
Fire.
But
for the sake of art.
For the sake of art, baby. And that's why, like, I ain't even gonna front, bro. Like, that's why when I came across your music, I actually watched a couple of short interviews. I saw the interview you did with the Arts Council, and I'm listening to you talk, and I'm like, yo, like, I feel like he feels like I feel like, yo, I'm gonna give my all to this.
Yep. This is all we got at the end of the day.
Right.
At the end of the day, I could go work at Target and be one of the forgotten. You know what I'm saying? And even the people who gonna be forgotten, they need us. They need art to help them make it through life. Every day, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's they getting tattoos or they poetry or they watching movies or they listening to music, people need art to get through life, to make it through being forgotten, because they know they're not gonna be remembered and they okay with that. But the only thing that makes them okay with that is the people who not gonna be forgotten.
That's deep, bro. That's real deep. And I said to somebody one time, I was like, yo, you never met somebody in life who doesn't like music.
Yeah, they like some kind of music, you know what I'm saying?
Now, they may like a certain kind of music.
And they might be the only kind of music they like, but they like it.
But I've never met somebody who said, man, I hate music.
Yep. I don't listen to music ever.
Right.
Like, yeah, okay.
And when you say, like, yo, people need art to get them through, like, it's true, bro. Like, and that's why we hang on to music and poetry and physical art pieces, things, because I mean, yo, people selling art, a painting for millions of dollars because somebody has a connection with it.
Because somebody wanted to look at it every day. They bought it for $1 million because they was like, I have to look at this every day.
Wow. I never thought about, until you said it, I've never thought about the fact that people can't live without art.
They can't. Some type of art, and people indulge themselves in a specific art. Like, they like, that's why you think, Michael Jackson came on stage, people was passing out, and they was in the 198th row when he came on stage, they was passing out. Because art help you live. The hardest thing about living life is living it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like every day we gotta wake up. I tell people all the time, the hardest thing it is to be is alive. Because you gotta wake up. You gotta figure out other people's emotions. You gotta figure out how you gonna do it. You gotta figure out what you're gonna do. You gotta figure out, it's every second you figuring things out.
Right.
Every second. So how do you combat that besides with art?
Right.
Besides with being able to sit down and listen to somebody else tell you, I'm going through this too. And you're like, you know what? It ain't that bad,
Right.
Besides, you go work your factory job and you hate it. And this is the reality for a lot of people.
Yeah.
You work your factory job, you hate it. The only thing that make you feel good is you got them headphones in all day and you got it, boom. And then on the weekend, what you do? Go to the club, listen to music.
Yeah.
Or you go to a show and watch people live. Like, this is what help you go on with your life.
Man. What brought about this passion for life and for other people's lives personally for you?
I can't even, I wish I knew that answer. I wish, because some people would say it was their kids. I had it before my son. I said I think it's really when I started music. Like when I started, because I always was like blackity black.
Right.
So then I started music, and then I started realizing like, oh, first it was, oh, he weird. Oh, he, he did look at
Right.
him. He rolling around. He doing flips. he hanging from stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But then I started realizing that, like, all right, short story. I did a show at Jonathan's, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
And Jonathan's is your like, I wear sundresses and I smoke hookah.
Right.
Like you wouldn't really think that they would go crazy for someone like me. You know what I mean? And when I performed there, I got them to get up, and I realized everybody got that inside them. Everybody got to get it out in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
Even if it's just you go, boy,
Right.
because they're not going to get in the pit. They're not going to shove.
Yeah.
But they still need to scream.
Yeah.
They still need to yell, and they still need to
release.
see somebody up. So it is everybody need it. Everybody. So when I started doing music, I just pretty much realized that the world need a hero, yo. Our people need a hero. They need somebody who's gonna be right there in the trenches, somebody who's not afraid to look crazy, somebody who's not afraid to say what need to be said or do what need to be done. And I was given the tools to be such. You know what I
Right.
mean? I don't want to see nothing but the world become a better place.
Right. So I got two questions for you, and the answer may or may not be the same. So when did you start music, and when did you start branding?
I probably started branding when I was freshman year of college. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just always been this dude who was like, I used to wear my pants backwards and just,
crisscross.
Yeah, it was always just like, what can you do? Like, what do you feel like doing today? And it was just like, whatever I felt like doing. It was never even like trying to be different. Like, whatever you feel like doing, you're going to do it.
Right.
Whatever you're going to. I used to wear 4 or 5 pairs of suspenders down just so they could make a bunch of different color X's going down my pants. Like, it just was who I was. And then when I started making music, like, it inevitably was like its own thing. Like, it was so different from everybody else because I was already a person who didn't care what people thought about me.
Right. Have you always not cared what people thought about you, like as a kid?
So I got caught in that caring what people thought about me early high school and middle school.
Okay.
Which everybody get caught in that little slump where it's just like, well, everybody's doing this and everybody. But then late high school, stopped caring. And before that, when I was a little kid, I really didn't care. I really didn't care at all. Like, all the way through elementary school, I did not care what people thought about me.
Right. And I asked you that because I know, and I didn't feel like that, but I know with some people it's a gimmick with trying to ostracize themselves from people. I remember when Busta Rhymes hit the scene, thinking about, very.
One of my heroes.
Yeah, I know. Him and Don't Tell Me. And DMX.
Yep.
Yeah, I already read it. Yeah. And I remember when Busta Rhymes did the thing, I was in middle school. I don't know how old you are, but I was in middle school. And I remember I was just like, yo. And I didn't even get to see, because we didn't have cable in my house growing up.
Neither did we.
My homeboy had cable, though. My boy Willie, shout out. And so I used to go to his house, and that was the first time I saw a Busta Rhymes video.
And it was like, what the?
And I'm like, yo, he on a whole nother,
He's different.
woo-ha, I got you all in check. And so it's just, I'm like, yo, but you could tell, like, this was him. Like, he wasn't trying to be somebody he wasn't. He wasn't trying to be somebody that was outside of his character just so that he could, get fame or money or whatever. He was like, yo, I'm here, and you're going to get all of what I got to give you.
And it is what it is. Either you're going to love it, you're going to hate it, or whatever it is.
Right.
And I like that you said that gimmick thing, because I tell people all the time gimmicks are corny, and the people will always see through it at the end. You know what I'm saying? And if you think about who I am and what I am as an artist, if it was a gimmick, I would fail because it already sounds like I'm doing too much. Like, oh, explain this dude to you. Oh, well, he all about like pirates and and he all about pirates, and he really pro-black, and he do mosh pits. So it's like, how you mix all that together? Like, you just trying to hit a bunch of, like, it sounds like somebody trying to hit a bunch of things on purpose, but this is just who I am.
Right.
These are my actual morals that I stand in. This is actually what I believe in. That's why when you hear me speak, and when people sit down, that's why I like sitting down speaking with people, because people see like, oh, the way he speak, like, align with it. He don't got to think about his questions and answers too much.
Right.
You don't see me like, okay, what am I going to say? Because I don't got to do that. Because how I feel.
It ain't hard to remember the truth.
Yeah, like, it's what happened. This is what happened. You know what I'm saying?
So explain for the audience watching that may not know what a mosh pit is.
A mosh pit is a place that people go when they feel happy, sad, mad, or whatever emotion you got, to get it off or to enjoy that moment. Mosh pit is where people are shoulder to shoulder. People don't even know, like, mosh pits have rules. Like, if you get knocked down, everything stops and we pick you up. Nobody's gonna trample over you. That's against the rules of a mosh pit, and that's everywhere, anywhere.
Okay.
Even when you do the wall of death, and the wall of death is when this side of the crowd line up and go to this side of the room, and this side of the crowd line up and go to this side of the room, and when they beat, man, they mash into each other. If anybody falls, we pick you up. That's what moshing is. It's a community. It's a community of people who care about what you're going through without even talking about it.
So I said we was asking for the audience, but I was asking for me. Because I ain't know it. But that's dope.
Yep.
Because if you didn't have those rules in place,
then people could get hurt.
People can get hurt. And then even on a mental side of it, you're not showing that care for your other person.
Yep. So even though it's aggression and it's chaos, I tell people, so I got some shirts coming out, and all of them say black people invented moshing, because we did.
Okay.
And that's because back in Africa, when you see like them jumping up and down, they moshing. When we was listening to Waka Flocka, we was moshing. 3-6 Mafia, we was moshing. But they didn't know that.
Right.
With us, we was just, it was fellowship, but that's what moshing is. It's fellowship. You know what I'm saying? And there's different levels of aggression when it comes to it. And I've seen all the levels at my shows. I done seen people pushing and shoving and picking each other up. And I done seen what we as black people do, like our kind of moshing, which is when you just shoulder to shoulder and you just jumping. Maybe you bumped heads together. Maybe I got my shoes stepped on. This don't matter. Scrappy on. You know what I'm saying? This don't matter. 3-6 playing. We out here. You know what I'm saying? And we've been doing it forever, since the beginning of rap.
Right.
Even here we go, yo, go, yo. They was in the hood still. Everybody was on each other, jumping across. Onyx. They was handing motherfuckers across, and they was crowd surfing. We invented that shit.
And we just and so now I'm just realizing what the term was for that. And it's crazy because a lot of times, I'm so glad I'm a writer, and obviously you're a writer. Like, words matter.
Yep.
And when you're able to put a word to match a feeling, an emotion, a thing that's happening, it means so much more. Because we've been celebrating black people for a long time. I just heard the term Juneteenth.
Yeah.
5 years ago, maybe?
I think mine's the same thing. I didn't know what Juneteenth was when I was a kid.
Right.
At all.
Right. Had never heard of it. I knew July 4th, though.
Yeah, I knew that every year.
every year.
I knew what you were supposed to do, what you're supposed to eat, all of that.
Right. And so then once there's a term, whether it was always there or not, that's actually associated with something, then people can rally around that.
Yep.
And then there's more understanding of what it is.
Yep, and that's why I'm coming out with the Black People Invented Moshing shirt, so that
I gotta
people
get one
can
of
ask
those
questions
too.
like, yeah, yo, and they should be done next week. You know what I'm saying?
Bad.
And it's like, people gonna ask the question like, no, that, not yet. And it's like, well, actually, black people invented punk rock, and punk rock is where American moshing came from. So we invented American moshing and we invented moshing all together. If you really want to be, because I'm not a historian, but I don't say nothing if I don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we invented it, yo, and what happens is a lot of time white people adopt something and they white it up so much that black people forget or like step away from it, like, oh, well, they can have that now since they did that to it. And we forget that we created it, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Same thing we did with rock and roll. Forget we created rock and roll. Forget we created, well, everybody forget we created blues and hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Because they couldn't get blues from us the same way they're not going to be able to get hip hop, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah,
so
they ain't going to be able to get that
they
one.
not going to, I'm telling you, they going to keep
They trying, but they ain't going to get it.
It ain't going to, it's cool. Like, some of y'all are nice, but
Right.
at the end of the day, this is something we created, and it was born from our struggle and from what we, you know what I'm saying? As much as I like a lot of white artists, most of them can't say fuck the police for the same reasons we can. So it's not gonna have that same vigor and anger behind it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not gonna, a white person couldn't have wrote what Cube wrote. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Especially back then.
Right.
It just
At
is
all.
what it is, yo.
And if it was, then it was a gimmick.
Yeah, then it was a gimmick.
In most cases.
And people would have been like,
Right.
I could do without it.
Yeah, because it ain't real.
Because the only thing that made them pop was the fact that they was real. That's all NWA was a bunch of young, real-ass niggas. They were just like real as hell.
That's true.
That's it. And the world was like, we've never seen this realness before. And that was it.
And it offended people,
Yep.
and it brought people together.
Yep.
It tore people apart. And that's when you got a storm.
But how can you actually ever bring people together if you're not offending people? Because if you don't, you can't. If you stand for something, there's gonna be people on the other side. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Michael Shea said it in one of his stand-ups. He was like, "Yo, we just be like, yo, we just want to get treated equal," and some white people just be like, "Nah, I can't see that. It's not like we just want to be treated just like y'all." Like, I just don't see that. This doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
Like, it's gonna be people who stand up against it.
Right.
It's gonna, because evil exists in the world.
Yeah. And it's the evil inside of all of us.
Yep.
I remember one of the poets I worked with, it's crazy because the Black Conscious piece I was talking about, we've never talked about that piece, me and him, the white guy, Colin Watson. And at some point I do want to, but I had him, you know, in the piece he said some things that, you know, he wasn't comfortable saying.
Oh.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And so I remember when we had a discussion, because I didn't know him personally when I booked him. I had Crystal, she does a lot of my booking and stuff like that. And so she booked him and, you know, like, hey, you're gonna be a villain and da-da-da. And he was like, I'm used to that, I'll do theater. And she's like, nah, it's gonna be.
Nope.
And he didn't know what the whole thing was gonna be. And so when I sent the piece over, an email to him and Johnny, him and Lee, he hit me up and was like, yo, we need to meet. We need to sit down and
talk about this, yep.
Right. And so we sat, you know what I'm saying, on Capitol Boulevard, and we talked about an hour and a half, and I'll never forget, man, I swear to God, I'll never forget. When we got up and before he left, he was like, hey, man, like, you know, this isn't the type of person that I am, but I'm willing to do this because I believe in your vision and the message that it brings across. He was like, but I know we all have seeds of evil inside of us. And so he was like, yo, like after the performance, I want to make sure that I can do, like, I need you to help me think of something that I can do so that when I look in the mirror, I see myself again. And I was just like, man, that's so deep that in his position as a white man to come in a room that's going to be predominantly black people, you know, I think it was like we had over 200 people in the room that night. And, you know, to say the word nigga, to be dressed in a KKK outfit, but for him to understand, like, that's not me.
But I still got to wash that off.
I still got to wash that off. And it's still inside of me.
Yeah, it's somewhere in there.
Right.
It's somewhere in there. It's ingrained. That thought, a thought like that has crossed my mind. You know what I'm saying? And that's because you can't control your brain. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because evil exists and we've seen evil, we take evil in.
Yeah.
Everybody don't walk down the street and see the baby, I should smack that baby. And you be in your head like, why would I think that? Like, why would I think I should smack that baby? But it's really just your brain your brain just be spitballing and you just say stuff and you be like, what?
Right.
And that's the difference between a sane person and an insane person. A sane person has those thoughts.
Right.
And then automatically dispels them like, that's evil. Why would I even think that?
Right.
And an insane person is like, everything that I think I must do.
That's deep. That's real deep. All right. So how long ago did you start music?
5 years. I'm 5 years into music. I started in 2017.
And right there. Right there, like, Cause bro, I promise you, man, like that's one thing I'm good at is and even before other people recognize, I'm good at recognizing talent. And I'm good at not only recognizing talent, but taking this piece and that piece and that piece and putting it together to win a championship. Like I think of myself in my mind as a Phil Jackson. You know what I mean? And this is just kind of with my shows, like what I've been able to see over the past few years. But then I realized I've been doing that with basketball forever. Because I'm the nigga that'll walk in the gym and be like, oh, nah, I know he the best dude in here, but I don't want him on my team. Oh, let me get him, and then we put something together, and then we run niggas off the court.
Let me get the shooter, the rebounder, and the dude that worked too hard on defense.
Right, all the time.
That's me.
Right.
I work hard, and that's crazy because I ain't even like a hack. Like I just like a Pat, like you gonna be mad.
Pat Beverly,
like,
yeah.
Right. I thought I was rid of him. Block, you wasn't.
Right.
I'm still here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I brought that to music. I feel like I brought that. Yeah, I'm still here. I'm not gonna go nowhere. I'm not gonna change. I don't. You know what I'm saying? Whether you like me or you dislike me, it's not for the people who dislike me. It's for the people who need it. And if they need it, they'll like it.
Man, I promise you, I was literally making phone calls like, yo, you heard of Jooselord? Like, yeah, I heard of him, or I just heard of him. And I'm like, yo, this dude, he gonna be crazy, bro. Like, he gonna be big. Like, and I be seeing that, and people be, sometimes they be like, oh, okay, SP thing. I'm like, nah, like, I study art. I study artists. I study how people pronounce certain syllables when they talk. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so I understand that there's a certain type of energy. Hey, how you doing? I don't even have any cash on me.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, I apologize.
Yeah, it's my artwork. Thank you. Yeah.
All of it is his.
Right, all of it.
Please
Have
be
a
safe.
good one now. And so like I study what to look for or what I feel when I come across something. I'm like, yo, this dude gonna be big. And I'm like, I would love to, like I've had people on the podcast that I know, you know what I'm saying? And like Crystal, me and her know each other well. She was my first person that came on.
That's fire.
But it was funny because Good Trip asked me, he was like, yo, like, you already know so much about her. What are y'all gonna talk about? You know what I mean? And so I found some things to talk about that I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? Some things I did know, and then we just kind of went off on a tangent talking about Queen and Slim and some other stuff. But it's been different, like just with today, you know, I had Party Boy on, and now I had you on. I didn't know either one of y'all. And so then the curious part of me that's always there is able to be like, I can assume certain things, but I don't know nothing.
Yep, and then there we go, and you get to talking, and you're like, I was right about that.
Right.
I was right about that.
Right.
I didn't even know this. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? But that's why I like sitting down, man. I like sitting down. I like talking. I like figuring out about people. I like, because like I said, human connection that's the point of life.
Right. So with the Pirates, so why are your supporters called Pirates? Like, where did that come from?
I'll tell you the truth. That was a Brandon thought. Because I looked at the largest artists in the world.
Okay.
And I was like, everybody got a name they can rally behind. You know what I'm saying? You got the Beehive. You got the Killer Bees. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got the Rages. That's Travis Scott and them. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Everybody got a name. And I was like, if I'm going to be big, my people need to have a name. And I was like, but what would I even call them? And then I started thinking about, what do we do? And I was like, well, we poor motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, who don't give a fuck about the government.
Right.
Who, you know what I'm saying? I was like, we pirates. I was like, that's what we are. You know what I mean? That's how we move. We move like pirates. We take stuff over. We move. This is what we do.
Right.
So I was like, I'm going to start calling us pirates. It is what it is. And I wrote that song, Pirates, and it was It was it.
And I haven't heard that one yet. I'm gonna have to go and check that one out.
That's what people would call it, the fan favorite. That's the wild niggas.
Oh, I have heard it. I just didn't
That's
know. Okay,
Pirates, yep.
got you.
Yep.
Okay, that's dope. And so that was the first thing you came up with. There wasn't another one, and then you was like, that didn't work. It's Pirates.
The first thing I thought was Pirates. I was like, this gotta work. I was like, because it wasn't unnatural. You know what I'm saying? It was like if they wasn't meant to have a name, they wouldn't have a name. You know what I'm saying? If I wasn't meant to be huge and worldwide, then people wouldn't want to be called Pirates. They wouldn't be okay with that. You know what I'm saying? I actually because I made it up, and then like I started, focus on making music so much. I actually had them come to me and be like, bro, like, we the Pirates, but like, say it, like, we need you to say it, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like, I do need to start saying that more, huh?
Right, that's crazy. What other things as far as branding go have you implemented or want to implement to help you scale to that worldwide?
Working with Doc Martin.
That commercial is dope. Cause when I clicked on it, like, I had never heard of Doc Martens before. And so when I clicked on it, I'm thinking it was a song called Doc Martin. So then I realized, I'm like, oh, nah, it ain't. And so then, so I just got into video editing a little bit and stuff like that. So the first thing that was catching my eye, I was watching that. So I watched it, and I'm like, yo, whoever edited this joint, like, killed this. So then I went back again, because of obviously words. I'm like, let me listen to what he's talking about. And I'm just like, okay, like, yo, that's dope. Like, that makes sense. And you was like, yo, like, once I break these joints in, these like my work boots.
Yep, that's it.
So you wear those every time you perform?
Every time I perform, every time I make an appearance, I would have worn them today. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always got them on. They a brand that believe in what we believe in. You know what I'm saying? They believe they a brand that work hard for the culture, and they push hard for equality, and they was doing it before it was cool. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna stand by any brand that stand by that. I only wear black brands and brands that support black people.
Right. That's dope. Where are they out of?
Oregon.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. London. It's a British company.
Got you. London. Okay. That's dope. But yeah, when I saw that commercial, I was like, yo, this commercial fire just from a visual standpoint. And then when I was listening to you and what you were saying, and I'm like, yo, like, there's a connection. I was like, this ain't just something he did for
clout,
for a commercial to be like, oh, okay, yeah. I'm like, nah, like, I feel like if I catch him out, he might have some Doc Martens on.
Yep, I'm gonna have him more. I literally was looking at him today, and I was like, nah, that's hot. We gonna wear some athletic wear today.
Right.
We gonna lay back. We gonna chill.
Right, but so Doc Martens is like really gonna be ingrained or is ingrained into your brand.
And it'll continue to be. And more black brands. That's really, I really wanna like, I wanna like submit myself into that black brand. Like everything black.
Right. Have you performed in London?
No, I can't wait though.
Can't wait.
I've been to Canada, but not to London.
Okay. So you performed in Canada. What part?
I performed in Toronto and Vancouver and in Victoria.
Dang, how was that?
Toronto was crazy. Vancouver was a Pan-African festival that I did.
Wow. And
Victoria was literally like some aftershock stuff at a hostel that I was staying at.
Wow. That's wild. That's three totally different.
Yep, like three different kind of.
Right.
Yep.
That's crazy. So in 5 years, man, it's just grown to where it is now. You put out Quarantine, which was what everybody had been thinking the entire time we was in quarantine. Did you recently just write that and then it came out? Was it written the beginning of quarantine? Was it in the middle of quarantine?
It was written. So Quarantine got a real crazy story because it was the first thing I wrote after my son was born. So I wrote it in like maybe February.
Okay, so your son was born when?
He was born in December.
December, okay.
So I like, first couple, you like, right.
Right.
No, I gotta figure out what we're gonna do with this baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, figure out, he need a lot, you know what I'm saying? So, February, I was in the shower and I literally was just like thinking about like my shows, and because being locked away and away from the people, it really took a lot away from me, especially mentally. Because like I'm used to like being able to just like 2 shows in a week, 3 shows in a week. I'm shoulder to shoulder with my niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Strangers, and we jumping up and down, and so this is how I get off my anxiety, my depression, and now I'm locked in the house with myself, and I'm like, yo, like, let me out this. I literally was in the shower and I said out loud, like, let me out this bitch, yo. Like, just ooh. And I was, you know how you do the ooh. I was in the shower, like, I gotta get out of here. Like, I gotta get back to my niggas. And I'm like, why nobody made a song about that feeling, yo? And I was like, shit, I'm gonna make a song about the feeling. And I came up with the beat, I came up with the music video was gonna look like, and I came up with the hook all in the shower. And I just got out the shower and I told the mother of my child, my son, I brought him in the room. And I said, I got the song that's gonna change our life, bro. I feel it, yo. I said, I feel it, yo. Too many people feeling this and nobody talking about it.
That joints went crazy, bro. I promise you, like, when I scan social media a lot, seeing what's going on, who's, doing whatever, like, locally, nationally, internationally, and that joint has just been reverberating all over the world. Like, I'm sitting here looking like, yo, like, and part of me, from a selfish standpoint, I'm like, yo, why I ain't know about him?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm calling myself one of the people that know what's going on with this. And I'm like, yo, like, this platform just had him on. This platform got 4 million followers that just shared his joint. I'm like, yeah, this joint, right? Because like you said, nobody was talking about that in music form.
It's a feeling that we all had.
Because everybody was talking about it every day,
Yep.
but nobody put it into, and then the visual you had with it just took it over the top.
The visual was about what it's like. When I was in white, I was like a real person. When I was in black, I was one of my thoughts, and all the people like in black running around and throwing. That's my thoughts going wild in my head. That's why I only take place in one room, because that's all we had during quarantine was one room. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't do multiple locations. I could have, but it was like, for what? This song's about quarantine. We was in one room. Everybody had to see the same shit every day for at least 6 months.
Right.
At least 6 months.
That's crazy, man. So you knew, you was like, yo, this song right here
It's gonna do more numbers and do better than anything I ever done. And also that's my first music video ever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Never shot a music video, and I was like, I'm gonna shoot a music video for this, all of that. This gonna be the song. And then I'm gonna go back and shoot video. I'm currently shooting videos for all the other stuff.
He's
so
smart.
Now people about to be like, what?
Right.
So, because like, a lot of that music is like untouched. Like all the numbers from that is just from around here, like people listening. But like now that I've unleashed myself with a music video, this is my first video, I have the trifle. So I got my live show, I got my recorded music, and now I got my visual. So I got everything. Now I can say I have taken the world as an artist, and I have been places. So I'm ready to go to the next step.
Why had you never done a video before?
Because it wasn't time. People, I feel like people rush into that. And I feel like people like automatically say, I gotta have a visual, and that's how they end up with like 10 views or 20 views, 100 views. I waited till I had multiple cities behind me. I waited till I had multiple.
So that was purposeful. Cause I look at artists that I know, artists that I pay attention to, and especially if they're just getting started. When I say just getting started, within that first 10-year period, because you really just getting started.
Yep.
Where they are like, okay, I gotta have this to go with that, or I can't even put the song out, or and I'm like, I never thought about it from the reverse angle of saying, nah, let me build,
And then
put a visual out and let it smack.
Since the dawning of the internet, people have started doing it backwards. They'll shoot a music video, and then they drop the song, and then they perform it.
Right.
But when rap first started, you hadn't had money for no music video. You ain't had no money to record.
True.
You performed your songs first, and people knew the words, and people
Right.
and then you recorded the song. And then if you was lucky, you might have got to shoot a music video for it. So what I did was I took the old rap stance, but with the fact that I know that at the end of the day, I got the internet.
Right.
They didn't even have the internet back then.
Right.
So if I go backwards and I gain a following and I gain my people and I do all of these live shows and then I release the music and people listen and then I release the music video, that's how you end up with I literally planned for people to be like, why didn't I know about this motherfucker?
Got me.
That's why.
Got me.
So when you said it, you see I smiled.
Right,
like,
right.
That's the whole, I knew it was gonna happen. And it was because I didn't do like public work. Everything that I've done, traveling to different countries, everything was word of mouth. People saying, yo, you gotta see this dude.
Right.
You gotta see this dude. And it's just, I don't even, when I do my shows, I don't even focus on, put on a good show. I just put everything I got into the moments up there. Like every single, I say everything with everything is just the most I can put into it right then and there. Whatever my brain tell me to do, I do it. Tell me to throw something, I throw it. Tell me to jump off something, I jump off. Whatever my brain, I give my brain freedom to roam right then and there.
That's crazy. I tell you, I'm always paralleling. I've never put out a book. I suppose I put out a book 10 years ago, Inspired, which is the title of the show. I was being lazy when I named the show. I was like, I'll just use what the book is supposed to be. And so now I've had 4 shows coming up on my 5th, and I could have been dropped the book, but I just, for and I wasn't purposefully doing it for branding or marketing purpose. I was just like, yo, it ain't time. Let me just wait. I just keep putting it off. And I know when I'm gonna release it now. But now I'm sitting here like, yo, it's gonna be big.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you do it, think about it. Now you're gonna release this book, and then all people gonna do is turn around and look at the rest of your work, and they're gonna be like, who the fuck is this? When did he? Like, cause they're gonna be thinking this book is your first thing ever.
Right. And then they see I got 8 shows that's gonna happen and 1,000 people coming to a show.
Come on.
You teaching today, bro.
Because what it is, you built another thing that I've been saying to all my homies is the difference between a one-hit wonder and a nigga with one hit. You know what I'm saying? A one-hit wonder has to have something to follow up with. Okay. Tyler, the Creator, I love him to death, one of my favorite artists. He only got one hit, and that's Yonkers. He only had one song that really took the world, and that's Yonkers.
Right.
He didn't need nothing else because his discography is so amazing. People found Yonkers, went back and saw who he really is,
right,
and they stayed for life. You don't need to make another hit. He don't never need to be on the radio ever again.
And so then the difference between that and
somebody and a one-hit wonder is that's the only song they got, and now they gotta think of something to come. Like, nah. They gotta like, how can I follow this up? You don't gotta follow it up if you already got a fan base. If you already got, so if people got something to come and join into,
right,
then what you gotta follow it up for? You just keep doing what you've been doing.
Man, did you go to college?
Yep, I went to North Carolina Central University.
What'd you major in?
Architecture, engineering, and graphic design.
Okay. So where did the business acumen come from as far as the industry goes?
I left college early and became district manager of T-Mobile. Like I was like a regular guy, and I started off on call, and I worked my way up to a full-time employee, and then to a manager, and then a district manager, like really in record time. And I was in, I sat in rooms with all these businessmen. I sat in rooms with the owner of our specific franchise in T-Mobile.
Right.
So I like learn all this business stuff and learn how to. So it's all the same. Like business is the same regardless of where you at. Like business is the same. What do people like? What do people want? What do people? You know what I'm saying?
Right. So why do so many people do business wrong? Especially artists and creators.
Because that I gotta think about. But if I could guess, I would say that people do business wrong because people think about what they like, and for the same reason people get. So I don't like playing Family Feud with people.
Okay.
Because people always, the question is, at the beginning of the show they say we asked 100 people.
Right.
Why are you giving the answer that you think? You're supposed to try and think of what 100 people want. And that's why people don't do good in business.
Got you.
because they always thinking like, oh, well, I like this, and that's cool.
Right.
But you didn't know what 100 people are like.
Yo, you giving me so many realizations about stuff, cause I'm pretty business minded. But there's certain things that I did that I'm now hearing you say that I didn't completely realize I did. Like it wasn't.
It wasn't
conscious.
purpose. It wasn't because you're just business minded, so it just happened to fall like that. And keep it hot with you. A lot of these decisions that I'm telling you, it wasn't conscious decisions. It's just like you. I was just doing it because I was used to moving a certain way.
Right.
Like I just knew, like, well, I don't want to put out a video until I got enough people behind me to where people could be like, yo.
That's so different because almost nobody that I know does that.
Because that's the new way to do things. The new way to do things is put a video out first because videos is what get the most eyes. But then how you gonna keep them after they get there? Because
if you got one video and you ain't got no other,
you don't got no Instagram that got high connections. You don't got no website.
No branding.
You don't got
no
branding. You don't got none of that. Now people just waiting on your next video.
And now you feel the pressure.
I put out a music video for a song that wasn't on either one of my projects. So now, my streams went up because the music video was doing numbers.
That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. Like, man, you could do you do master classes?
Everybody keep telling me I should, like, on master classes, and they be like, I should, because I really want to do one about how to get, like, brands to recognize you. Like, how to get, like, people with blue, like brands with blue checks on Instagram to say, hey, let's get this guy something. Like, hey, excuse me.
No, you good.
All of that. So yeah, I haven't, but really I just like, I mean, I wouldn't even, this is another part of like people be trying to tell me to become business minded because my brain don't even be like, yo, you gotta charge people. Be like, people gotta know this. People gotta know this. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather sit right here with you and say all of this and somebody watch it and be like, yo, he dropped gems.
So how did Dr. Martin's, how did that connection happen then?
Because they released 12 boots. So I was wearing Doc Martin for like a while.
Right.
And people started noticing me as a Doc Martin guy to the point where people would text me and be like, yo, I'm buying Doc Martens. How did the sizing is, or or what's the name of this, or what's the name of that?
Right.
Because I was wearing Doc Martin so much.
Okay.
I was down bad, I ain't had no money. And I was like, well, now I'm starting to get money. I want to start like dressing nice again.
Right.
And I'm like, but I'm not gonna leave Doc Martens. So I want to wear like designer Doc Martens. Divine Intervention, 2020, Doc Martin decide, hey, for every month in 2020, we're gonna do a different designer, a different high designer and it's only one of that boot. I mean, it's only 1,460 of each of the boots in the world. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna drop them once a month.
Right.
For 2020. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna do like a special collection. And I was like, I'm gonna get every single one of them boots. I got to 10, and Doc Martin was like, look, give you the other 2.
Wow. And so then that
and after that,
opened up the conversation.
Like, because what it saw was not only did I know who they were and pay attention to them, I was invested in a brand.
Right.
And I was invested in joining a brand to my brand.
Right.
So they look at me and they say, well, is his brand strong enough for us to even care about investing in?
So how did that feel when you realized that?
When they follow me on Instagram, what, boy? What? I ain't gonna front.
So it was a wrap.
I cried because I'm a crier. You know what I'm saying? I've had like, I'm one of the people like, I'll watch a movie, TV show, the main character that everybody love die, I be like, damn, that's fucked up. But like, somebody get a promotion, I'm like, that's right, my nigga. I done had so much bad stuff happen to me.
Right.
Like, bad things don't even faze me no more. It's just like, how we gonna get past this?
Yeah.
I'm always on to like playing the stage when bad things happen. But when good things happen, every time something good happen to me, I cry. It be people message me on Instagram and they just be like, bro, you inspired me, you made my life better, and I cry. You know what I'm saying?
You feel it.
Yeah, I feel it. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, hey, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey,
Right.
you know? Like, shoot, at Juneteenth, when the lady told me that, when the lady that run it told me that they had to get a whole new insurance because I was on it. They said they reached out to insurance.
I believe it.
And the people was like, they said they sent my music video, was like, we're not gonna cover y'all, can see you on there. And they got new insurance for me. I cried.
Cause that means something.
Yeah, it was like, oh yeah, now I really gotta turn up. Like now
Right.
you know what I mean?
It's crazy when you talk about insurance. Like when I was getting at the convention center and calling around, and they consider poetry rap.
So everybody was like, no.
Right. And so then the rates go up, and then don't let you be having a joint too late at night. Then
like,
it's crazy the systems they got set up, man, and the things that they're afraid of that they actually don't have to be afraid of.
Yeah, they don't understand. They don't understand.
Man. So masterclass with you kind of teaching like how to get, bruh, one of my goals by the end of next year is to have a masterclass set up, a boot camp. Whether it's 1 or 2 days, I ain't really sure yet. Man, I definitely gonna have to have you come in.
I'll come through.
Because creatives, man, and artists in general, there's so many of us, and there's so many that are dope, but they don't have the business acumen. They don't have the know-how.
And if they do, they hoard the secrets, yo. And that right there, it just made me, I just caught a chill even saying it, because I hate that,
I hate
yo.
it, bro.
And it's like, yo, why don't you want to see nobody else win, yo? Why you don't want to see nobody else win? I want to see everybody win. Even if me and a person that had a spat, I don't want to see you lose.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, bro, losing in life means so much, bro. I was just talking to somebody the day before yesterday in Greensboro, and I'm like, it's weird to me that people want to see other people losing just because they winning and it make them feel better about winning.
Dude, I ain't, and look, you stepping on my toes a little bit, because I ain't gonna front. Like, I want to see everybody win until I know you want to see me lose. Mm-hmm. And so then I want to see you lose. And I've been thinking about this a lot lately, because there's been a lot of things that have been transpiring business-wise, or people that I've dealt with, or associates, and some things have went sour, and I'm just like, yo, I hope them niggas lose, yo. Yep. And I'm like, yo, like me and Crystal had these conversations. She'd be like, nah, like, yo, you ain't got it, you know what I'm saying? Yep. And I'm like, nah, like, fuck that, yo, like, I
just say, let the universe handle it. You know what I'm saying? If they lose, they lose. If they win, they win. That ain't got nothing to do with
I gotta get that petty out of me, bro.
Yeah. And listen, and look, so my motto used to be, how people say, an eye for an eye.
Right.
For me, it's like, you take my eye, I gotta break both of your hands so you can never take nobody's eye again.
Yeah.
Like that. That's,
cause you throw a grenade, I gotta drop an atomic bomb.
Yeah, like I gotta get you. I gotta get you, because I gotta teach you the lesson. The whole thing was the lesson.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But then one thing I figured out is, don't nobody teach lessons like life, boy. Don't nobody teach lessons like life. And with the lessons that life done taught me, I'm able to let anything go, because it's like, if you got anything like what I had, if you got anything like that coming to you, I'm sorry for you, man. I'm sorry that you did this and that you got this coming back to you, because it's gonna be bad.
I gotta get that petty out of me.
It'll fade. It'll fade. Right. You know what I'm saying? And mine still flare up.
He said flare up.
Yeah, like acne. I'll be like, get this nigga, yo. He gonna be okay. Thank you. And then I sit in my room and I feel bad. Like, why you even think like that? Like, why you even? It's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's okay that he don't like you. It's okay that it's hate. You can still love him.
It'd be crazy, man, because like I want to see, like I said one thing about me, because people be like, yo, how you blow up so fast in a poetry world, you know what I mean, with a show that big and it going where it's going. I'd be like, yo, because I ain't take nothing from nobody. Like, when I came, I gave value, and then I just let you know, hey, look, I'm doing something. If y'all want to support, it's going to be dope. Don't miss, you know what I mean? But I consciously left my ego at home, because I had ego, you know, like basketball.
That's all ego.
All ego.
You can't even be good at basketball if you don't got ego.
You can't, bro.
That's a whole different.
You can't.
You need it to survive out there.
And then playing poker. I played poker pretty seriously for a minute. That's all, you know, for me, yo, it's me against you. Yeah. I'm taking your money, you not taking mine, so it's all ego.
I can't tell you nothing.
I literally had to shed all of that when I'm going and talking to people about, hey, look, I got a show, da-da-da-da, because I'm like, yo, if they smell any bit of that on me, it's a wrap. So I'm like, let me provide as much value as possible to people and help as many people, even if it's not benefiting me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't hurt me if somebody say, hey, look, do you know any poets that I could book for my show? I could be like, well, shit, I don't do spoken word. Like, nah, I don't really know nobody. But, yo, I know 50 poets.
And you could put somebody
It's not going to hurt me to take 2 minutes to go to their page real quick, take the link, boom, boom, and send over 15 poets.
That's a big problem. Like, ego is a big problem in the music community because, like, people will get an opportunity and they'll know that it's not the best opportunity for them. And
Right.
they'll even know the person that it is the perfect opportunity
And won't
for.
give it to them.
And they'll rather take that opportunity and fuck it up and not do well than give it to the person
That is right for.
that would be right for. You know what I'm saying? And that's a big problem in music. I'm not like that, yo. I done had people be like, yo, you want to open up for it? And I'm like, that's not me.
Right.
That don't fit my brand. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is the person you need to be reaching out and give out their contact. Because
Right.
that is more like, I'm not going to let nothing stop my success. I'm not going to let nothing hinder my success. Not one show, not nothing. But giving somebody else the right show can make them successful. And even if they never look back at me, they still succeeded. And that means something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's hard to win in life.
Hard.
And I want to help people win. Even if they win before me.
Right. Right. I tell people, man, I'm a support whore. You know what I mean? Like, if you got something going on and I can be there, I'm going to be there. And I ain't asking you for no free ticket.
Nope, I'm going to be there.
Right. And people be like, man, you be everywhere. And I'm like, I do. But it's so many people that I feel like are great or becoming great. Like, why wouldn't I support it? You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't I share that shit? Why wouldn't I tell somebody else, like, yo, you need to check this person out? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, I ain't gonna front, bro. We sit here talking about this. Like, I'm in my feelings right here to this day because it's somebody that I know personally that is in a position that can actually help me in a big way and I ain't even feeling entitled to nothing.
Just like that.
But I'm just like, bro, like, you know I'm dope. I know I'm dope. Everybody else know I'm dope. Why wouldn't you? Because if it was me in that position, I'd have been like, yo, hey, da-da-da-da, let's, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's put you there. But everybody don't think that way. And it's crazy, bro. It's sad. Like,
It's the hoarder's mentality, yo. I look at it like this, yo. People ask me, like, yo, you know, how big you want to be? I said, I want to be really rich and really famous. Like, I want to be able to be friends with LeBron.
Right.
And I want to be able to, like, go to Travis Scott's house. And people like, why? And I'm like, because once I get there, it's 52 weeks in a year, and I'm going to make 52 millionaires. And they're like, what you mean? I was like, if Travis Scott once a week just pointed to somebody like, listen to this music, this nigga's hard.
Over.
That motherfucker be a millionaire the next day.
It's over.
He could do it every week, and every week he'd make a millionaire. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get that big, and I'm going to just point back. I'm going to make 52 millionaires in a year. I promise you, that's a plan that I got. I'm going to make 52 millionaires in a year. Once a week, I'm going to point back and make somebody a millionaire.
you just stretch me,
Like,
bro.
look where we sitting there right now. He should be a millionaire. I guarantee you, when I get to Travis Scott, if you're not a millionaire yet, motherfucker, when I get, I promise you, I'm gonna be like this, because right now, all people need is eyes. And people like Beyonce and Travis Scott and Jay-Z, you don't gotta sign nobody, bro.
Right.
All you gotta do is get them their eyes. That's how West Side Boogie blew up. Because Rihanna reposted his video and was like, this shit hard. And that's it. Boom, Eminem signed him. All people need is eyes. A lot of us, all people need to do is know that we exist. We dope. We got it. We did it. Look what's around us. Come on. If anybody should be selling art for $1 million, this nigga should be. You know what I'm saying? But he need the eyes. So I'm gonna work hard, I'm gonna bust my ass, and I'm gonna blow the fuck up. And then I'm gonna build schools and I'm gonna get niggas' eyes. That's it, yo. Eat the rich, be the rich, feed the people.
You stretching me, bro. It ain't, I swear to God, yo. And as we get to know each other, because I feel like we're going to stay in contact, you will see, like, it's not often that, well, I shouldn't say that. It's not on a regular basis that I'm around people physically that stretch my mental. So I just started, I bought the domain, started a hashtag a few months ago, the $1 Million Poet, right? And I'm like, yo, like, I don't know any millionaire poets. And I'm always trying to look at what other poetry shows aren't doing or what other poets aren't doing, and then that's what I want to do or be or have, right?
Yep.
And so I'm like, yo, I'm going to be the $1 million. Like, I'm going to figure out how to make $1 million in 1 year. I'm going to figure out how to make $1 million in 1 month. I'm going to figure out how to make $1 million in 1 day.
In 1 hour.
Off of my art, off of poetry. So I'm thinking, you know, until a few minutes ago, you know, I'm thinking I'm doing something. You know what I mean? I'm on, yo, $1 million poet. And then you talking about, yo, you ain't even say, and that's what blew my mind. You ain't even say, yo, I'm gonna make 52 million, $1 million a week. You said, I'm gonna make 52 millionaires in a year.
Because there's so many people with so much talent. All you gotta do is hand them the ball and let them shoot, bro. The people gonna want to see it. You know what I mean? It's the people control the money. You know what I mean? If it's all these people making this money off of coins that don't even exist. You know what I'm saying? That's how much money in the world. People could just become millionaires off of coins that don't even really exist. You know what I mean? If it's that much money in the world, all my niggas could be millionaires, yo.
What good is sitting first class if my niggas can't sit?
I said them is the 2 lines. What good is first class if my niggas can't sit? And somebody else said something. I literally quoted it and then quoted the next one. I said the first one is, I can't remember the first one. And then I was like, the second one is what good is first class if my niggas can't sit? Because you gotta, like, this hoarding shit is done, bro.
Right.
It's done, bro. That shit needs to stop, especially within us.
Right.
It needs to stop, yo. Like, yeah, protect yourself, get your. That's why I said, I'm going to get there first. Give me some time to get there. And I promise you, once I get there, I'm not buying no Tesla trucks. Fuck that.
Right.
We gonna put this black man that got this $1 million idea for his own truck. We gonna put the money in his hand.
Right.
We gonna make him a multi-millionaire.
That's dope, man. That's dope. I like to be stretched mentally because, and it's crazy, bro. Like, life be so serendipitous sometimes. Like, certain situations that you be going through in life, and then at that perfect moment, you reach out to somebody, they reach out to you, or you at an event, you meet somebody, and bro, when I say I got a list of people, I'm only a few podcasts in. I ain't even released one yet. And I got a list of probably 150, 200 people that I can interview. All I gotta do is call them right now. But when I'm like, yo, I gotta get this dude on now. You know what I'm saying? And outside of just seeing your art, I didn't know why. Now I know why. Because I needed where I'm at right now, and I'll be on it. You know what I mean? I'll be on it, but we all need that stretching a little bit.
We gotta do it for each other, yo.
Yeah,
we gotta
man.
do it for each other, yo. We gotta keep each other's minds open to what the world really is and how big we could really be.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everybody started out as a useless baby.
Useless baby.
Yep. I said, that's another thing I say every day. So it's certain things I wake up every day and I say. One of them is like, some people only respect black eyes and bullet wounds, and that's basically saying, like, as peaceful as I am,
Right.
Sometimes you're going to have to get muddy, you know what I'm saying, to prove a point sometimes. Some people you're not going to be able to say, like Joker said, some people just want to see the world burn. And those people going to have to be dealt with if they trying to deal with your people. You know what I'm saying?
Gangster or a gentleman.
And it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? So, but that's another one I live by, though.
Yeah, man, that's dope, man. I really, just the conversation, man. Like, first of all, you coming out is you know, that and enough, because I be worried when it be people I don't know.
You're like, this nigga not gonna show
Because I'm like, yo, are they going to even show up? You know what I'm saying? Then I got to sit in here and be like, yeah, Trip, sorry, man. You know, wasting your time. You know what I mean? We in here. Somebody ain't even come. But not only that, bro, but I knew you were going to bring your energy with you. What I didn't realize and didn't know that I learned today was there's a passion behind the business branding portion that isn't just for business or branding. It's because that all supports your mission in life.
People, at the end of the day, I got a mission. You know what I'm saying? I know what I want to be. I know what I represent, and I know that I could get there. I know that I was given the tools to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna do with it.
And that's inspiring, man. I'm Inkspired name my show, so I'm always inspired by people like yourself that not only are good at what they do, but know why they do it. Because I know why I do what I do, but then being around people like yourself, it helps me fine tune my mission and my message.
Still sharp and still. No doubt when I come to your show, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna leave there with something that made me come up with another idea, that made me push forward. This is why you do this.
And then the waves just ripple and ripple and ripple.
And this is why the universe had us meet.
That's crazy, man. I put up, I think I still got it on my Facebook right now. It says I'm a inspiring tsunami. And that's how, like, I'm like, yo, if I link with enough people and that water start building and building, I'll be a tsunami. But then now I can create other tsunamis.
Yup. And now,
who gonna stop us?
The world underwater. The
world underwater. That's probably gonna be the name of this podcast episode. The world underwater. So in the beginning, bro, I asked you, who do you think you are? Now as we wrap up, I'm gonna ask you, who do you think you will be?
I'm gonna continue to be the Mafia Messiah, just for more people.
Just for more people.
I don't want to change who I am. I want to be what I am at a larger level.
We're going to leave it at that, bro. Listen, I appreciate you, man. Listen, y'all tune into the next episode of Who Do You Think You Are podcast, man. Look in the info below. You will see all the links to all this stuff, man. Quarantine, new video out. And we'll catch y'all next time. Yo.